This clock tells us when the world is going to end. This is the Doomsday Clock, and it was founded in 1947. It was designed to show us how close we are to destroying the world with dangerous technology. And it's been set to 90 seconds before midnight.
Like, the second you look at the photo, you already know that there's something wrong with this. This is a photo that is known to cause what is referred to as the Mundy effect.
I asked people if they remember these robber emojis. More than 90% of people said yes, and some said they have used it. But the truth is, these emojis never existed.
Comments to her that suggested they saw the cameras, but Diddy allegedly paid them $50,000 to get rid of the footage.
I'm back, it's boy Fittie, and today we're gonna be taking a look at this video together. Make sure to watch to the end because this video gets crazy. Let's try to get this video to 500 likes. If you guys like the chain, remember there's also astrology chains down in the description. So if you guys like astrology or anything like that, check the link down in the description.
Did you quit your job after seeing this? One evening, a guy was working night shift security at a local hospital and was making his nightly rounds. He had just started and it was an average evening, quiet. It was late, so everyone was in their rooms. When he first walked down one hallway, he noticed a wheelchair on one side, but the second time around, he noticed strangely that same wheelchair had moved. There was no one else around, and he got a weird feeling, so he took out his phone and captured this. He said he had never experienced anything paranormal like this in his life. How the chair was moving on its own remains a mystery. So what do you think, paranormal, or was someone just messing with them? In either way, would you stay on the job?
Yeah, I don't know, that video is a little bit weird because it's like, why did he turn the camera to the right real quick and then turn it back? And as soon as he turned it back, the chair moved. And why are you just recording the chair?
Does anyone else remember when I posted this Zillow listing of the missile silo? It got over 6 million views, and it's back. It's for sale again, but this time, it's been renovated. I mean, look at that living space. I feel like this part is still mostly the same, but they really outdid themselves. The kitchen kind of makes up for the fact that you're living in a missile silo with no windows. Now this is giving barbarian, but you know, nice little bathroom. Again, I think this is the same for the most part. Reminds me of the set of Stranger Things, but it gets better because then they have this. This is like, it's like a pool, but it kind of reminds me of that scene from the movie A Cure for Wellness. If you've seen the movie, you probably know what I'm talking about. But now that it's all said and done, my question is, would you buy this house for $750,000?
Personally, I would definitely not buy the house for $750. Even if I had $750, I feel like most of it was still in construction, but the parts that were actually done looked really nice. I'm not gonna lie.
Let's talk about the haunted Snow White statue. This was highly requested, so let's talk about it. Now make sure you stay till the end because I have 2 creepy videos to show you, okay? Just letting you know. So user Alan Mora posted this video on June 3rd. The video went viral with about 8 million views. Now in the video, he says that he's walking in El Reino Mágico in Veracruz. And then this happens.
Ese no es el velador, güey. Güey, no es el velador. No. No, aguanta. Deja que mi cámara enfoque bien, Deja que mi cámara enfoque bien, güey. Eso no es el velador. No digas perras mamadas, güey. Mire. No digas mamadas, güey. No.
Pretty creepy stuff, but I have something creepier. So in the early 2000s, my favorite Mexican paranormal show actually covered that same Blancanieves statue. And in the video, she blinks. Now the reason why the statue is said to be haunted is because Reino Mágico, the park where you can find that statue at, according to locals, was built on top of a graveyard.
El espacio que hoy es ocupado por columpios y juegos infantiles solía ser el resguardo de mausoleos, lápidas y cuerpos humanos que descansaban eternamente.
Anteriormente fue un panteón.
But later they wanted to make it into a cute little park, so they asked some locals to come and pick up their family members' bodies, but apparently some of them did not. And apparently you can still find some of these forgotten family members there. Honestly, this is kind of a sad story. Like, if there's still people buried under there, that is so sad. Also, why do we look like we're twinning them?
They said they call their family members to come pick up the bodies. Yo, that's kind of disrespectful if you ask me. Like, what? It's like, yo, we're gonna build something over this spot. You trying to come pick up your dead grandma? I'm like, what? Hey, come on, bro.
AI gone wrong, part 2.2. In part 1 of this video, I talked about Loeb, her backstory, and how she came to be. In this video, I'm gonna talk about how Loeb went from this woman to this picture and how dark it got. She wanted to know if you combined another photo prompt with a prompt of Loeb, what would happen. Super Composite's friend actually generated this tunnel photo, and she wanted to know if Loeb combined with this tunnel photo would create something completely new. For reasons unknown, when she tried to combine her friend's image with Loeb, it created this image. Over the next few days, she continued to experiment with Loeb, and the results are terrifying. For some reason, the AI associates Loeb with death, despair, children, pain, and gore. I'm gonna put a couple images on the screen and I'll let you see for yourself. I'm gonna keep some of the more gory ones off because I don't feel comfortable sharing them on TikTok. But if you wanna see all of them, you can look on Super Composite's Twitter. They're all there. The crazy part about it is the more she tried to get rid of Loeb from these photos, the more intense the photos became. That leaves us all with just one question. How did this come from this? What do you think? Leave a comment. Follow for more creepy shit.
If I'm being honest, it's probably just a really haunted picture. It's crazy that even the simplest things combined with that haunted ass picture made something even more haunting. Like something simple. Probably me in this frame right now combined with Loeb would make something insane.
Investigators found that Rex also had a Tinder profile which he posted photos, selfies of himself, and this profile was linked to the burner phones. Rex Heuermann used 7 burner phones and numerous junk emails to stalk his victims and their families. But Rex was creating a web that would lead investigators right back to their killer. Rex would toss these burner phones shortly after the murders, but was unable to erase his digital footprint. Rex Heuermann also used email accounts that were connected to these burner phones, and police even obtained surveillance footage of Rex at a cell phone store in Midtown Manhattan, purchasing additional minutes for one of the phones. Investigators also discovered that Rex would commit these murders when his wife was out of town. Rex's wife was in Iceland when Melissa was murdered. She was in Maryland when Megan was murdered. And she was in New Jersey when Amber was killed.
Yeah, that's strange. People like that are always strange. Kind of makes you question, like, what's the point? You know, like, what was the point of doing that to those people? I'm thinking maybe those were ex-girlfriends that he had or anything like that. But she literally said that all these happened when his wife is out of town. Like, he literally has someone and he's still stalking girls and shit. Like, that's weird.
Disturbing Unsolved Mysteries episode 4. Now, a woman's body is found in a hotel water tank weeks after she vanishes. So what made her death so bizarre and terrifying? Now, in February of 2013 at the Cecil Hotel in LA, guests complained of foul taste of water. Well, maintenance found the decomposing body of 21-year-old Canadian student Alicia Lam in a rooftop water tank. She'd been missing for weeks since checking in. Her death was ruled accidental, but autopsy results were inconclusive, and elevator footage from right before she disappeared shows Lam acting paranoid, hiding in the corner, pressing multiple buttons but failing to leave. Some believe that she was having a bipolar episode, while others insist that someone killed her. We may never fully understand what happened to Alicia Lam at the infamous haunted Cecil Hotel that night. But if you think that's bizarre, wait until you hear about that unidentified woman found burnt to death in Norway. The coded diaries and the fake IDs found reveal a sinister mystery. Don't miss this haunting cold case next.
You know, I don't really know too much about bipolar disorder, so I can't speak on that. But, like, if someone's having a bipolar disorder, would they just really run away and, like, die in a water well place? I don't know. That one seemed a little bit too, like, seemed like someone was the cause of that or something was happening. I'm not too sure. If you guys know, put it down in the comments.
So a lot of people know the movie, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Most people know him as, like, he's this slasher with a chainsaw, this big, like, dumb dude, but he's super strong, and that most people know him as, right? What most people don't know, it is actually based off of a real story. This guy named Ed Gein, right? Ed Gein was born in Wisconsin, and he grew up and he was super isolated, like always by himself. People described him as like a weird dude. Like he was very, always like by himself. Ed Gein started grave robbing. He used their skin for like stuff around the house. He used their bones as like utensils, and he has been confirmed to have killed at least 2 people. But they think it's upwards of 10. But they just can't prove it because it was so long ago. But yeah, so he was arrested, and the scariest part about it though, he did not serve 1 single day in jail. Not 1 single day.
They let him out?
No, so he was found innocent by way of insanity, and he was sent to a psychiatric ward where he lived out the rest.
I don't think people understand. I've heard that it's actually way better to go to jail than like an asylum or a psychiatric ward. I know a lot of people like to beg insanity so that they won't get found guilty, but I don't think you want to go to an asylum. Those insane asylums are definitely worse than prison.
A group of tourists went missing yesterday on their way to go see the Titanic wreckage, and it's being reported now that a search and rescue mission is underway. So this company called OceanGate, which is based in Washington, operates these vessels that can take groups of up to 6 tourists to go see the Titanic. A ticket goes for $250,000 and the whole voyage takes about 8 days. The trip starts off the coast of Canada and then goes 380 miles to the site and then 2.3 miles below the ocean to the wreckage. Sunday morning, a vessel doing this trip lost contact with the control room an hour and 45 minutes into its dive. The vessels have 96 hours of battery power essentially to keep people alive, but they're saying now that there's only 72 hours left in that battery. They're also now saying that this exact thing happened last summer, but the vessel was only out of contact with the control room for 3 hours. And this one has been radio silent for over 24. But look, a correspondent for CBS said in an article that all these submersives have been kind of janky. So much so that the vessels rarely make it to the Titanic despite being $250,000 per ticket.
Yeah, $250,000 for tickets like that is insane. And think about it, all those people, not all of everyone, but like those people that went viral for dying that really paid a lot of money just for a death wish.
Can dogs see ghosts and other paranormal entities? Watch this video and tell me what this dog saw.
Backing away from it, then let's go. Let's go. Let's go. What are you doing?
He must have picked up on Bigfoot or something, because from what I've known, if dogs apparently see anything paranormal, they usually bark. Like, they usually bark a lot. And whenever they're on high alert, their ears are usually up. Like you see, it's pretty much the same as like this dog right here. Their ears are usually up. But this dog was kind of like scared. So I don't know what he could have seen, heard, or smelled. But I don't necessarily think it could have been anything like paranormal. It probably, if anything, was like some extraterrestrial Bigfoot or something. Like some crazy alien. Right?
Like, the second you look at the photo, you already know that there's something wrong with this. This is a photo that is known to cause what is referred to as the Mundy effect. But really quick before we jump in, a huge thank you to the sponsor of today's video, Picnic. This is your go-to app if you want to dive into communities and feeds with like-minded interests like true crime. I've got the link up in my bio, so make sure you download Picnic today. Now this photo, this was traced back to an inmate's booking photo. No idea who it is. It's an unknown person, but it's estimated this is around like the early to mid 2000s. The longer you look at this picture, you're probably starting to feel the effect. What's discovered is that after this picture made its way off of databases through emails and eventually onto the internet, it had a consistent and profound effect on people. Those who looked at it realized that the longer they stared, they became unwell physically, mentally, they had increased levels of anxiety. Although it's been studied and they've coined this the Mundy effect, it's not really known why this picture has that effect.
He was not lying. I was looking at that thing for like the whole duration of it. I was like, let me just stare at this dude for like as long as the video lasts. And as I'm looking at him, I'm like, whatever. Then after like a little, I'm like, like, yeah, it makes you mentally unwell, physically unwell. I'm just like,
Let's look at this house. For context, It's a 3-bed, 2-bath in Washington for almost $400,000. Keep that in mind. This is the first picture of the inside. Okay, just take a deep breath. We're gonna go quick. Nice balcony. An aquarium in the bathroom right next to the litter box. This is not, like, in what world is this okay? Those poor animals, first of all. Secondly, how does somebody take pictures of this and post it on a site where they're going to be selling this house thinking, yeah, that'll do it? The whole house is a litter box. The whole thing.
Yeah, nah, that was odd. Like, how you really gonna try to sell a house, but yet leave all that there? It looks like someone was still living in the house and they're trying to sell the house that someone was still at least clean up, bro. Like, at least do the bare minimum.
These are Mandela effects that will make you question everything you know. I asked people if they remember these robber emojis. More than 90% of people said yes, and some said they have used it. But the truth is, these emojis never existed, and here are a few more. Looney Tunes, the cartoons many of us have seen, wasn't actually spelled like this. This is how it's actually spelled. We all remember Pikachu having a black stripe on his tail, but he never actually had one. Monopoly, the board game all of us have played. We know that the Monopoly man always had a monocle, but in fact, he didn't. He never had one. And finally, the song we've all heard, "We Are the Champions." For some reason, we all thought that the song ends with the lyrics, "We are the champions of the world." But these were never the lyrics. The song actually ends with just, "We are the champions."
Yeah, some of those I've actually heard before, but the Pikachu one always was like, and the Monopoly one was always like, and the Fruit of the Loom one, I don't know if you guys ever heard about Fruit of the Loom. I'm about to put up the pictures right now. But those also have me like, because it's like Fruit of the Loom having a little loom thing. Whatever that's called, a basket. If you know any Mandela effects, put it down in the comments.
These are videos humans were never meant to see, part 17. Okay, so we all know how disturbing and weird North Korea is. But have you ever seen everyday life in North Korea? If not, the video I'm about to show you shows North Korea during the day, and it's completely empty and there's just something weird about it. I would never want to live here.
I feel like what makes it weird to us as Americans or Europeans or South Africa, wherever you're from right now, what makes a difference for us is because like we're so used to roads having cars, but apparently in North Korea you don't really learn how to drive. Driving are for like the elite officials. Like in North Korea, most of them just bike and walk everywhere.
So all of us have seen this robber emoji, right? You must have seen it at least one time, or used it at least one time. Maybe it looked something a little different. Maybe it looked something like this, or maybe something like this. But you see, this emoji never existed. Millions of people swear that they have seen this emoji before. This topic caused so much fuss online that Apple themselves spoke up and they claimed that they never had this emoji before. Maybe the conspiracy theories about the Mandela effect aren't conspiracy theories after all. There have been people that tested this theory. They had iPads, the oldest models, the ones that run on iOS 5. The robber emoji was never there. But the question is, where the hell did we see this before?
Pretty much just like what that other guy was talking about. Just, it's kind of weird because I feel like I've seen the robber emoji, but at the same time, it's like, not too sure. Have you ever seen the robber emoji? Put it down in the comments.
The most disturbing thing ever recorded.
The following footage you are going to see is 100% real. I was scrolling on Twitter and I found a thread about The Exorcist. While filming The Exorcist, Linda Blair, the main character, was rigged to a mechanical bed that shook her so violently she fractured her spine. The most disturbing part was the final scene used in the film was her actually screaming in pain.
I don't know what it is, but hearing a real scream compared to a fake scream is so noticeable. You'd be like, it's like you could feel their pain through the scream. It's tragic. But I don't know, fake screams are like, yeah.
Scary Unsolved Cases, Part 1. In 1970, a mysterious woman was found burned to death in Ice Valley, Norway. We don't know who she is, and it looked like whoever killed her didn't want us to find out. All of the tags were cut out of her clothes and belongings, and any distinctive marks were scraped off. What's also weird is that police found a number of disguises like wigs and various passports with her, and a letter that was written in code. So people assume maybe she was a secret spy. If you want to learn more about this case, I just covered it in my YouTube video, link in bio.
This clock tells us when the world is going to end. This is the Doomsday Clock, and it was founded in 1947. It was designed to show us how close we are to destroying the world with dangerous technology. And it's been set to 90 seconds before midnight. But this clock doesn't work like a normal clock. And 90 seconds really doesn't mean 90 seconds before the world is going to end. It just takes into account everything that's going on in the world right now, and gives us a threat level based on that. The furthest away the clock has ever been from midnight was in 1991, after the Cold War, and it was 17 minutes away from midnight. And recently it was revealed it is the closest it's ever been to midnight, at just 90 seconds away. But to compare to other years, in 2020 it was 100 seconds away, and since it's just been getting worse and worse since then, the clock has slowly been inching closer to midnight. So what do you guys think? Do you think the world is going to end soon?
I mean, eventually the world would end, but soon? I don't think soon. I don't think we're going to even be able to see the world end. But if we do, that'd be crazy. I hope not.
There are some mysteries that we may never solve. Part 3. According to history, modern humans first appeared around 200,000 years ago. But records of human history did not start to appear until around 5,500 years ago. This means that 97% of human history is completely unknown and will likely never be discovered.
That's actually a little bit scary. That's probably why there's a lot of theories out there. It's kind of crazy how we literally don't know 90% of what was really going on and what made us here today. It's kind of...
Scariest videos on the internet, Part 4. This is a famous statue that is said to be haunted. And someone cut its eyes moving on camera. What in the night of the museum is this?
I feel like we see a lot of statues moving their eyes lately. Like, what's going on with these statues, bro? How do they even move that? They don't even have eyelids.
Shows he woke up and followed her. He grabbed at her and then took glass vases in the hallway and threw them at her, causing glass to crash around them as she ran to the elevator to escape, the complaint alleges. In the complaint, Cassie says some of the hotel staff made comments to her that suggested they saw the abuse via the cameras, but Diddy allegedly paid them $50,000 to get rid of the footage. The gut-wrenching video has only further confirmed the disturbing and predatory behavior of Diddy. Now, after Ventura got into the elevator, her complaint indicates that she took a cab to her apartment. Upon realizing that her running away would cause Mr. Combs to get angrier with her and completely stuck in his vicious cycle of abuse, Miss Ventura returned to the hotel with the intention of apologizing for actually running away from Diddy. Now, this is crazy. Now, when she returned, the hotel security staff urged her to get back into a cab and go to her apartment, suggesting that they had seen the security footage showing Mr. Combs putting hands on her. Now, Ventura, who was formerly signed to Combs' label, claimed in her suit that he exerted power and influence over her throughout the course of their professional and romantic relationship. According to the complaint, she was only 19.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of things been going on with him. Apparently he even put out an apology video about that video. I can't show the full video for what happened between him and his ex or girlfriend at the time. But yeah, it looks like it's a wrap for Diddy. Sorry, bro. That's how it is sometimes. But anyways, if you guys like the video, please like the video. Let's try to get to 500 likes this video. If you like the chain, remember that the astrology bracelets are also on sale down in the description. So make sure to check those out. I know you females love astrology. So if you're a female, watch my video. Trust me and check that. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. I'll catch y'all in the next one.